A red team is a group of security professionals who advise a corporation on how to get beyond their cybersecurity controls. Red team assess all vulnerabilities and weaknesses that could allow unauthorized access to organization assets so that they can make the best proposal and strategy to reinforce the security system. Its key skills are penetration testing, software development, reverse engineering, and social engineering, and it attempts to think outside the box. A blue team can be comparable to the red team but with a different goal. It is crucial that if the red team is attacking, the blue team is defending. This group is in charge of maintaining the internal security system against various forms of attacks. Its major goal is to harden approaches, monitoring system, risk assessment and maintain a close eye on security data and event management. Red teaming is the act of systematically and rigorously, but ethically, identifying an attack path that breaches the organization's security defense through real-world attack techniques. In adopting this adversarial approach, the organization's defenses are based not on the theoretical capabilities of security tools and systems, but their actual performance in the presence of real-world threats. Red teaming is a critical component in accurately assessing the company's prevention, detection and remediation capabilities and maturity. If the red team is playing offense, then the blue team is on defense. Typically, this group consists of incident response consultants who provide guidance to the IT security team on where to make improvements to stop sophisticated types of cyber attacks and threats. The IT security team is then responsible for maintaining the internal network against various types of risk. While many organizations consider prevention the gold standard of security, detection and remediation are equally important to overall defense capabilities. One key metric is the organization's breakout time, the critical window between when an intruder compromises the first machine and when they can move laterally to other systems on the network. You might be surprised to learn, like I was, that red teams spend more time planning an attack than they do perform attacks. In fact, red teams deploy a number of methods to gain access to a network. Social engineering attacks, for example, rely on reconnaissance and research to deliver targeted spear phishing campaigns. Likewise, prior to performing a penetration test, packet sniffers and protocol analyzers are used to scan the network and gather as much information about the system as possible. The Tiger team in the early days of network security, a Tiger team carried out many of the same functions as a red team. The term has evolved over the years, now referring to Tiger teams as an elite and highly specialized group hired to take on a particular challenge against the security posture of an organization. Red teams use a variety of methods and tools to exploit weaknesses and vulnerabilities in a network. It's important to note that red teams will use any means necessary, per the terms of engagement, to break into your system. Depending on the vulnerability, they may deploy malware to infect hosts or even bypass physical security controls by cloning access cards. Penetration testing, also known as ethical hacking, is where the tester tries to gain access to a system, often using software tools. For example, John the Ripper is a password cracking program. It can detect what type of encryption is used and try to bypass it. Social engineering is where the red team attempts to persuade or trick members of staff into disclosing their credentials or allowing access to a restricted area. Phishing entails sending apparently authentic emails that entice staff members to take certain actions, such as logging into the hacker's website and entering credentials. Intercepting communication software tools such as packet sniffers and protocol analyzers can be used to map a network, or read messages sent in clear text. The purpose of these tools is to gain information on the system. The blue team first gathers data, documents exactly what needs to be protected and carries out a risk assessment. They then tighten up access to the system in many ways, including introducing stronger password policies and educating staff to ensure they understand and conform to security procedures. Blue teams have to establish security measures around key assets of an organization. They start their defensive plan by identifying the critical assets, document the importance of these assets to the business and what impact the absence of these assets will have. Blue teams then perform risk assessments by identifying threats against each asset and the weaknesses these threats can exploit. By evaluating the risks and prioritizing it, the blue team develops an action plan to implement controls that can lower the impact or likelihood of threats materializing against assets. Conducting digital footprint analysis to track users' activity and identify any known signatures that might indicate a breach of security. Installing endpoint security software on external devices such as laptops and smartphones. Ensuring firewall access controls are properly configured and that antivirus software are kept up to date. Deploying IDS and IPS software is a detective and preventive security control. Implementing SIEM solutions to log and ingest network activity. Analyzing logs and memory to pick up unusual activity on the system and identify and pinpoint an attack. Segregating networks and ensure they are configured correctly. Using vulnerability scanning software on a regular basis. Securing systems by using antivirus or anti-malware software. Embedding security in processes. The truth is that a red team cannot exist without a blue team, and vice versa. Both teams are essential for an organization's security to be healthy.